So Pokemon Legends ZA gets even better, and some crazy news that just dropped about this game and gets me way more excited to play it overall. So let's talk about the Pokemon ZA Battle Club trailer, what's going down with the online multiplayer portion of the game, and more tidbits and details about how this game potentially is the Dark Souls of Pokemon games. Okay, I'm pretty sure that people are exaggerating there, but it's interesting to see some of the changes that have made this game definitely more interesting, to me at least, when it comes to the difficulty aspect than we've seen with previous Pokemon games. So starting off with the Pokemon Legends ZA Battle Club trailer. Defeat as many of each other's Pokemon as possible within the time limit. So publisher, the Pokemon company and developer Game Freak, have released a new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA, introducing the ZA Battle Club. The trailer description reads, the ZA Battle Club is ready for the newest Link battle entrance. Up to 4 players can take part in battles where they attempt to defeat as many of each other's Pokemon as they can within the time limit. Make full use of a variety of moves and mega evolutions and go on the offensive. Pokemon Legends ZA is due out for the Nintendo Switch 2 on October 16th, also the Nintendo Switch 1, and you can play between Switch 1 and Switch 2 owners if you have the upgrade pack and all that, so everybody can fight against everybody. Let's talk more about this because I found there to be some more details that was not in this initial reveal trailer. There's actually a screen or a screenshot that was shown from the Link Play main menu, and it shows private battles, ranked battles, link trade, mystery gifts, and titles. So this game has far more multiplayer aspects and far more multiplayer things happening than what we saw with Pokemon Legends Arceus, because Pokemon Legends Arceus was just, hey, you can trade. That's about it for the most part. You can trade Pokemon, but there really wasn't anything to do outside of that, outside of the single player campaign. But with Pokemon Legends ZA, there's going to be a reason for you to train up your different Pokemon. There's going to be a reason for you to do other things, because you can have trades that actually lead to battles with multiplayer, like a battle royale that's happening here. Now, is this mode going to be incredible and balanced like the normal Pokemon games, like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, or like the Pokemon games before? Probably not. Will it be a fun little side mode to kind of play, whether you're streaming or if you just want to play with your friends? I think it's going to be cool for that, but I'm not thinking that this mode's going to all of a sudden revolutionize Pokemon Legends battles or revolutionize Pokemon battles over, but I do think that it is going to be a nice extra mode, and I didn't expect it. I didn't think there was going to be any type of competitive or cooperative or multiplayer in this type of way, and I didn't think there was going to be ranked battles and private battles. I didn't think that at all. I thought at most we'll probably get maybe like some trading, maybe there's some mystery gift stuff, but I didn't think that there was going to be this much stuff overall. So very interesting when it comes down to that. Now, another thing with this game, let's talk about the whole Dark Souls of Pokemon thing. So shout outs to Etchy, and I'm thinking maybe he's trolling a little bit or not, but there are some things that kind of show that this game is going to be a bit harder, which that came out during the previews. So Etchy on Twitter, and I'm probably saying his name wrong, so I'm terribly sorry about this dude. He's a Pokemon content creator, actually a pretty good Pokemon content creator, and he stated that he played Legends ZA demo recently. It was really fun and hectic. Nintendo staff asked me if I played a game with similar combat, and I said not really. Then they asked me, quote, have you played Dark Souls? It's kind of like that. So once again, I think he's joking a little bit, but there are some things in this game that kind of says, wait a minute, hold up here. They're trying to make this a bit more difficult. So Stealth also tweeted, in Pokemon Legends ZA, you can easily be destroyed by higher level trainers. This level 18 Pidgeotto took out the entire team by itself in seconds. Now, this is something in previous Pokemon games, you can be underleveled and not get wiped out like this. But in Pokemon Legends ZA, if you are not up to the task, this Pidgeotto just completely bodies this dude's whole squad, as you guys are seeing right here. So it's one of those things, for me at least, that this is definitely a good thing. You want to see that in order to beat some of the tougher trainers, you just can't waltz in there with a bunch of Pokemon and chip away the damage, then all of a sudden win. You've got to actually train, you've got to actually level up, you've got to actually have some good strategy. No more waltzing in 10 to 11 levels under leveled or something like that, or 6-7 levels under leveled, and just expecting to walk all over the other trainers out there. So I definitely like this. This is a good thing and something that I've been hoping for Pokemon for a while now. I always got my challenge playing people when it comes to the competitive aspect. But with this game, yeah, there is a competitive aspect to this, but I'd still like to see it as more of an action RPG. Yeah, have some of those difficult battles. And if you want to be able to body people, you better put the time in to train to level up your Pokemon. So definitely good on that overall. Another thing that kind of makes this game a little bit harder is that in Pokemon Legends ZA, poison damage outside of battle returns for the first time in years. It was removed in Pokemon Black and White. Well, it's back here now at this point. Just makes things a little bit harder. Got to make sure that you prepare beforehand. Make sure that you have your poison heals and all of that. Make sure you have your burn heals. Make sure you have all your stuff, because you never know when you're going to get cooked at some point and you're going to have to use that, or your Pokemon is going to fade once you're done with the battle. So they are kind of ticking the right boxes with Pokemon Legends ZA. There's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing with this game. I think that it's a lot of fun from what I've seen so far. And this is definitely going to be another system seller for 2025 for the Nintendo Switch 2. We already had Mario Kart World, which is doing incredible. We had Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is also doing really good. And then now we have this game coming out as well. So that's also going to be another one, along with Metroid Prime 4, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders as well, and probably Splatoon Raiders. That's probably dropping this year too. So I think it's going to be a stacked rest of 2025. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Then also a couple other third-party games sprinkled in there. Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, Borderlands 3. Definitely a good start overall from the launch with the Nintendo Switch 2. But Pokemon Legends ZA is looking really good. There's only concerns with some people when it comes to the map and not going outside of the city not looking as interesting as maybe having different biomes like we saw with Pokemon Legends Arceus or other games, which is a fair complaint. But we're going to have to wait and see how the rooftop battles, how the ZA battles, how the different zones and all of that kind of play out. I think that they're hiding a few things here and there when it comes to where else you can go within this city. So I think that once we actually get the game, or they show more of it, there could be some more dynamic areas and locations to go. But I do understand that concern. But yeah, man, Pokemon Legends ZA is looking really good from what we've shown here. And they're showing the Nintendo Switch 2 version. People are playing the Nintendo Switch 2 version. There is no reason to show or play that Nintendo Switch 1 version anymore, because we know it's going to run at 30, and we know the resolution probably isn't going to be the best, and there's probably going to be some dips and everything. So it's great to have the first official Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch 2 when it comes to a release. We had Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, got that 4K 60 update, we got that nice update, and that's great. But this one was actually built obviously for Switch 1, but also with Nintendo Switch 2 day and date. It's so good to be able to have a Pokemon game and not have to worry about the resolution and the frame rate being bad. Now, the graphics, yes, not the best graphics out there, but I don't think it's necessarily terrible, especially when you're running at good resolution and good FPS. I think that's important, especially for an action RPG. So super excited about this news here. But what do you guys think when it comes to Pokemon Legends ZA and all the things that they've done here overall? Planning on picking up the game or waiting to see some more? Let me know in the comment section. Before we get into the next topic, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you are someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos as soon as they drop. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the next thing here, because we've got to talk about what is happening with Madden on the Nintendo Switch 2. Apparently, Madden is doing incredibly well. Got my man Kennedy Clark and also Nintendo on Twitter. They've been talking about this. So in Madden, you can actually check out and see how many people are online for the game. And that doesn't mean the amount of people that are actually bought the game and everything, because if you're not online right now, then you're not going to be able to track it there. But so far, it looks like Madden's doing really well on the Nintendo Switch 2. And if you look at it, we saw the eShop sales in terms of the positioning. It was pretty much number 2, and it seems to be selling quite decently, because Kennedy Clark over on Twitter put up saying that Madden 26 on Switch 2 absolutely destroying the Steam version in sales by over 30-1. I was told third-party games don't sell on Nintendo Switch though. So yeah, as you can see here, he has this thing up, 185 players searching, 145,741 players online. That is a lot of players overall for a game. It seems like it's more than what WWE was getting and some of the other early online titles that have online play enabled. So this is absolutely a great sign. And the reason why I say it's a great sign, I know all of you guys aren't into Madden. I know that Madden's not the best game out there, but EA is absolutely going to invest in making sure that the next Madden game runs at 60 FPS and is better than this one. Now, once again, they might not. I mean, we've seen what they've done with Madden, but this is a good sign because we have heard that third-party games are not necessarily selling well based off of that game business report, which is not necessarily true because we saw a bunch of games like Fantasy Life and Cyberpunk and other titles in Room Factory, which we're going to talk about in a bit, actually do well. But I think that this is definitive proof that, no, third-party games that come out, they can do well depending on the game and everything like that. Now, the shot at Steam, it's like whatever. Obviously, Steam, that's not a place that people are going to go play Madden. That's more of a console game. But there's only 4,355 people in there. Portable Madden is really important to people. And people have wanted portable Madden for a very long time when it comes to high-quality portable Madden. And now you're getting it with the Nintendo Switch 2. So I think that's why it's doing so well. So what do you guys think about Madden? Surprising when it comes to the amount of people actually playing it on the system. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, we're going to move on to Room Factory. I kind of alluded to it when it comes to third-party sales, and now we have some more details and information. Room Factory, Guardians of Azuma, shipments and digital sales top 500,000 units. So definitely a good milestone for this type of game. 500,000 units for a AA type of game like this is absolutely a successful release because it's only been a couple months. Yeah, it's only been a couple months since the game launched. It launched as a launch title on Switch 1 and on Switch 2 in addition to PC. And 500,000 units before you even get the Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game. I think the PlayStation version can probably put up some numbers. So I do think that this is pretty good. And that's before the sales really even kind of hit. This game could actually do really well on the Nintendo Switch 1 and Nintendo Switch 2 once it gets some sales because it was a $70 release on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's fully on cartridge if you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, or you can just buy the Switch 1 edition with the upgrade. But yeah, it's one of those things to where it's great to see a game that is fully on cartridge do well, and it's great to see a game that kind of took some chances and some risks, kind of going away from what Room Factory normally is, and it paid off because 500,000 units, like I said, for this type of game is really good. Plus, I think that includes the special edition, which they did charge more for that, although they kind of got ate up on tariffs when it comes to it. But at the same time, like, it's okay, man. Like, they're doing pretty good. Now, in terms of the splits or kind of where it sold best, I looked up what it did on PC via Steam, and the peak that they had was about 13,121. So I don't really think it did any significant amount on Steam overall. But with the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Switch 1, we were able to see the opening week sales in Japan, and we're able to see it that it actually charted on the eShop. So that's where probably the bulk of these sales are at. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next with Room Factory because this was the first Room Factory game that I actually played all the way through and beat. I put 70 hours into it on the Switch 2 version and had a ton of fun. It's a really good game. So what do you guys think about Room Factory, Guardians of Azuma, shipments and digital sales topping 500,000 units? Let me know in the comment section below. But all right, peeps, that's going to wrap it up for this video. What did you guys like the most when it comes to all the different topics that we went through? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 and RPG content right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.